Thank you for tuning in to The Solution Is You. I hope that you are doing well. I do appreciate each of you for taking time out of your day to come over and listen to my content. If you find value within my messages, then make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. With that, let's go ahead and get into today's subject. Now, the topic of today is how to go far in life even when you have nothing. Now, I know each of us has been in a situation, or there may be a lot of you who are currently in a situation where you believe that you have nothing. You believe that there is much to accomplish, and sometimes it can be difficult to find direction or to understand what it is that you need to do to put yourself in a better position. And so, there are just a few simple things that one can do to ensure that you are pointed north. So the first thing that you can do is approach everything with a great attitude. So if there's a task that you have to take on or some type of relationship that you have to build up, it's important that you come with a great attitude. You know, appearances are the first thing that people take note of, and first impressions go a long way. So it's important to show up with a smile, approach everything with a positive attitude, and to always have a very joyful personality. People tend to be attracted to likable folks. So, you know, the more likable you are, the more people that you may attract. And having a great attitude can take you far. I know that I've been in a lot of situations where I didn't have all the qualifications that were necessary. I don't have a college degree, um, and most of the training that I have is on the job training, and I just have a good work ethic. So just coming with a great attitude will go a long way because it has a great impact on folks. And a lot of times people just can relate to human nature. And as long as you can relate with someone and you guys can share some common things, then being personable, understanding about helping others, these things go a long way to positioning yourself to become likable and boosting yourself to be in a different position than what you are today. Number two is you want to read a lot. So this is the one thing that I find that most people get away from. And with social media and being able to text, a lot of times we get away from the basics. So reading is very important. And the reason why is what this does is it helps us to expand our knowledge base. Not only just to read on the things that you enjoy, but you also want to capture the things that are more challenging or things that you may have not been so much enthused about. You want to make sure that you just delve into a lot of different subjects and things like that so that you can become knowledgeable. This is important because once you become a part of some group or you're trying to work your way into a certain position, a lot of times you are working with other people from different cultures and so on. And it is important in order to hold a decent conversation and to become even more likable, you want to be well versed on a variety of different topics. So you don't want to necessarily be the one in the group that's extremely quiet, because that will come off as somewhat rude in some situations, or people will believe that you have a short knowledge base because typically people who are very reserved in a team setting, consistently reserved, usually they're timid, and they're timid usually because they're not well versed. And this is something that usually develops over time. I found that a lot of times this happens to young adults, but reading can go a long way. It keeps you in the know of what's going on, what news is going on, so that you know how to react to certain issues that go on in the world. You can carry on a serious topic with other people who may be in higher up positions, and this does impress them, and they will be likely to put someone who they can trust and someone who is knowledgeable into a position that needs a lot of attention. And this could possibly put you in a situation where you could get paid a decent amount of money because you have a certain type of knowledge that calls for it. So reading will take you a long way. Number three is reciprocate. So this is so huge and there's so much value in reciprocating. I can't spend enough time on this subject alone. But whenever you do something for someone and you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, usually this does not go unnoticed. Just the fact of looking out for someone or doing something, an act of kindness, goes a long, long way. Just think about it. Is it good to just always look to receive something for someone, especially if you are not giving back? I know in my lifetime, the most benefit that I've received is me giving to someone. I found that the more I give, the more that I receive. And it's not just about looking for something in return when you give someone something, but this is just human nature. When you do a good deed for someone and you're doing it consistently for others, it's just human nature for them to want to do something back in return. And I think this is something that's so huge that many people miss out on this. And this is something that is really missing from the world in general. When everyone takes time out to look out for the next person, then generally everyone will have what they need because everyone is looking out for one another. It's only when people are only looking out for themselves that things become lopsided. And so you have homelessness and you have people who are greedy and etc. Even though in the perfect world you still have a little bit of that going on, um, it would be tremendously reduced when you have everyone looking out for one another. So when you're out in public, doing something like paying it forward. So, paying for someone's groceries that's behind you, or just when you're at work, or if, within your family, if you just out of nowhere just give somebody a gift or just buy lunch for them or just do a great deed, this will go a long way. This will create a greater bond. This will create trust and appreciation. I mean, there's so much that one can get out of reciprocating. Um, just think about a time where someone may have walked up to you and did something out of the kindness of their heart. It may have surprised you. And the reason why it may have really surprised you, because we've gotten to a point where this is not done that much. It's reciprocated. And so when it does happen, it's very surprising to most individuals. But for others, this is common. There are a lot of people in the world who are used to, reciprocating because they understand this is a way to build value, and this is a way to always be in a situation where you have someone who is looking out for you. So it's important that we all understand this and recognize this, and we appreciate the little things that can go very far. Um, Also, being competitive. This is very important. And there's no small thing or thing that's too small to compete with or compete against. So, you want to have individual competitions like with yourself to make sure that you are staying on top of your game and make sure that you're taking your game to the next level, whatever that may be. You could have a personal goal that you're trying to accomplish, or you may be in competition professionally. So it may be some sort of a sport, or you may be have some type of profession that requires you to work in a team setting, or it may be you against a competitor. So it's always important that you are competitive. Now, competitive in a good way. You don't want to be in a situation where you're trying to sabotage someone just to gain an advantage, but you do want to be a wholesome person, and you want to do what's right, have integrity, and you always want to have something that you're shooting for at all times, personally, professionally, and spiritually, if you um, are that type of person. So you always want to be uh, in a position where you are constantly improving yourself. And also, if you're working in a team setting, you want to be in a situation where you are working with a team and leading the team, and getting your troops to the next level. So I hope you got something out of today's lesson. I appreciate you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.